butt in here on
That's
Mondays and experience this. I like the way she phrases things, you know, I'm used to that. So we're going to be talking about adversity today, which is a pretty cool topic when you think about it.
We're fine.
We're good?
Yeah, we're good.
You all right? All right. Got to make sure, you know. She's not going to have the baby yet, so
No.
soon. We're getting there. So, but before we do that, you know, I was going through some stuff over the weekend, and I came across something that was really interesting, and it gives you reminders. Sometimes we need reminders in things in life that we can reflect upon. And one of the things that I came across is the last year that we were actively selling like full time before owning the brokerage, I was looking at our numbers, according to the Phoenix Business Journal, and the numbers were interesting. So the last year we were selling, we were ranked as one of the top 10 agents in the Valley. We sold almost $40 million in real estate with 141 homes sold that year. I was thinking about, that's over 12 homes a month. 12 homes a month. And we also ran a team, if you knew that, we ran a team called Team Extreme, and the last year that we were fully running that team, the team sold $81 million in real estate with almost 400 homes sold in a year. So if you think about this, our team, when we were selling 33 homes a month. That's pretty crazy when you think about it, that we reflect on those type of numbers. And the reason what made me look back was Real Trends, which is a magazine that puts out numbers every year, and they look at companies and agents across the country. So our numbers came out, and I got to tell you, I'm just humbled. Both me and Angela are humbled and blessed at the same time. So I want to go over some of these numbers that Real Trends ranked us at. So in all the real estate brokerages across the country, we were ranked 145th. Guys, that's in the country. I know you guys are just so dumbfounded and amazed. You stand there, you don't even know how to react. But let me give you some other ones that are pretty cool. As an independent company, so we're an independent brokerage in the country, we're ranked 54th in the country. They also ranked us number 22 in the country as one of the top movers. That means a company that's constantly on the rise with their numbers changing over year to year. We got ranked in the Billionaires Club this year.
Not personal net worth. That's for all you people who think that's like in our pocket.
And listen to this. I think this is the coolest number of all. So we as a company, when we get ranked, they combine how many offices companies have. And most companies across the country have multiple offices. We are a company that has one office. One office. So as an independent company with one office, with our volume and our sales in the entire country, we were ranked number 1. Which blows me away, and we're humbled, and we don't take all that credit. Our credit goes to our amazing staff. We do have like the best staff in the industry, and some of the best agents in the industry. We are a family here, and those numbers are just so humbling and so impressive that people got to go, well, what does that have to do with the topic of adversity? Well, this is how it comes full circle, because that doesn't just happen. Our numbers just don't happen. And we want to share with people that we deal with the same adversities you guys deal with. And you have to overcome them. So when we first started, you know, those numbers of being ranked as one of the top agents and then gravitating towards one of the top companies comes with a lot of adversity. So I'm going to share some of the adversities me and Angela have gone through when we met early on in the business. Number one is we were new in the business. We didn't have family members that were in real estate. I didn't even own real estate my whole life. So brand new. This is something that the industry does was brand new. For the most part, we had no sphere of influence. I was new to the state. I didn't know people. I didn't even know the roads. I remember showing houses, and this was before technology. No, not horse and buggy. I had a car, but there was no map. Plus, I used to drive around with a map because I had to figure my way around this state. I was known for making so many U-turns.
Well, at first we tried to follow realtors' directions. That was a mistake. We never got anywhere.
Some of the other adversities we have, not that this is a bad thing, but a hard thing in the business, is our kids were young. When I met Angela, she had a 1.5-year-old. And then we had a newborn together that we lugged around a newborn. So when people out there say, oh, but you don't understand, I have kids, I got young kids, and guess what? So did we. And you deal with it, and you have to overcome those adversities. We were at a brokerage, and a team no less, that really offered no help. So we're new in the business, it didn't even have help or support that would be there for us. We did not know the business. We were broke. Let me tell you something. A new relationship with young kids and not having money doesn't really equal an easy way of going about building a business. Seriously, when you're wondering where you're going to even eat. And that's a true story.
At your parents' house.
Yeah. My parents' refrigerator. Yep. So I owe mom and dad. Just, I didn't starve, that's for sure. But we almost wound up moving in with them. We were so broke. So we dealt with that. So what did I do? I took a graveyard shift doing security at a casino. So I was going in at 10 o'clock at night, getting home 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, just grabbing a couple of hours of sleep and getting to work. Guys, we deal with the same adversities you guys deal with. So there is no excuse. Now I'm not sitting here patting myself on the back going, oh, we're better than everybody. But here's what we did. We understood adversity. Whether you like it or not, adversity is in every one of your life. It is part of life. Here's what I say. There's 2 guarantees in life. One is death. The other is adversity. And taxes. Well, not for everybody. Some of the people I used to work with wound up in jail and pay taxes. Did I say that out loud?
It's all over the internet now.
It's all over the internet. Yeah, but it's known. They're in jail for it. So tax evasion was the #1 way of getting those guys. I'm not going to get sidetracked here. So let's go back to adversity. It is inevitable. You will have it. Some adversity is not so bad. Some's difficult. Some adversity is heart-wrenching. Guys, we understand that. That is life. So regardless of how sharp you think you are, or how you think you're going to avoid it, or how you're going to say, I'm not one, I don't like confrontation. Here's the problem. You will always struggle. You will encounter challenges, difficulties, and things that are going to put a curveball in your life. So learning how to deal with adversity is going to build character and resilience. Now, and we're going to talk about that because let's face it, we as human beings always love to gravitate towards, oh, why me? Let me have a pity party, victim mentality. That's what we do. That's what we do when adversity comes. It's almost like you look at it as you're the only one that has adversity. And quite honestly, when you deal with social media, stuff like Facebook, sometimes it seems like you're the only one with adversity and everybody else's life is great, right? Most people don't like to post the crap in their life. So we get this false sense of, am I the only one that deals with this stuff? Or when people maybe look at me and Angela and running this company, oh, they got their stuff together. They have it together. They don't deal with the same things we deal with. Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you a secret. The more and more success, what'd you say? She's like whispering in my ear here. The more and more you strive for success and the more you get it, the more you build, the more adversity you bring on. It's actually crazy. So we deal with stuff every day. Some stuff that's, boy, we have trials that we go, why do we do what we do? Sometimes you want to just curl up in a ball and go into a cave or go onto an island. So we deal with that, guys. So we're going to talk about 5 things that we know and help us overcome adversity to get where we're at. And hopefully you're going to pull some of these pointers away and go, you know what? I'm going to do this. Might not be easy, but I'm going to do it. So we're going to talk about the 5 things to help overcome adversity.
The first thing, Chuck already said, you have to know that there's going to be adversity. And I think in our heads we all realize there's going to be adversity, but yet we get so shocked when something happens. Just recently, and I think maybe it's because we're getting older, I don't know, but there's so many stories of family sickness and death and cancer and loss and struggle. And I hear it from everybody, from all sides, especially this weekend on holiday weekend. I don't know why it is, but I think people suffer more from those kinds of situations during the holiday, any kind of a holiday season. So, like he said, we all have adversity. And I asked myself, well, why is there adversity? Some people, when I read, why is there adversity? Well, some people read, well, it's to sharpen you. You know, it's to help improve you. Well, that sounds nice, but that's not why we have adversity. In fact, in the book of Genesis, when sin first came, right? Yeah. And there was consequence when you go against the word of God. And it says in Genesis 3:17, cursed is the ground because of you. In pain you shall eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for you, and you shall eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your face you shall eat bread till you return to the ground. That doesn't sound like a lack of adversity to me. It sounds like what we should expect is all the days of our lives, most of them, there's going to be some type of adversity. It's okay. It's the state of our life. And so I think really the question is it's not avoiding, resisting, but rather persisting and expecting adversity, not in a depressing way, like, woe is me, everything's terrible, but knowing it's just one of our facts of life, and therefore meeting it head on and deciding how you will allow it to strengthen you most of the time rather than put you down. So the first thing I really think that people need to wrap their minds around is adversity is part of everyday life, and it's okay. And if you allow it to, it can be a positive thing for you in your life if you'll press through it.
And number 2 is build your internal resources. Build your internal resources, which is they're going to have a lot of correlations you're going to see on how do you overcome adversity. So what are your internal resources? Well, here's your biggest one. It's called mindset. Mindset. See, once you understand this adversity, and once you understand and grasp it, and go, I'm going to have adversity. Not that you're going to get up every day and look forward to adversity, but it's a mindset to put that in your mind, that you're aware that certain difficulties will arise. You already start to prepare your mind. Your mind is an incredible resource for power. You know, I always reflect on that. They say scientifically they use what, 10% of your mind? And I think they did a study, I use like 90, right? No. See the face she makes? She gets disgusted by me sometimes. But they say you use 10% of your mind. That just goes to show how powerful your mind is. And your mind can control things. So you need to tap in. So you're going to prepare mentally in confronting these type of adversities head on. So we're watching this series called The Vikings. And if you haven't watched this series, it's a pretty good series. But what's just blows me away is their mindset. In their mindset, sometimes mindset is due to the time you've lived in your life. So these guys battle. Like they prepare for battle. And they know when they're going to battle, it's going to be grueling, it's going to be tough, and it could even lead to death. But here's the difference. The way we live life and the way they live life. They prepared for it mentally. They're accepting it. Not saying they're going to battle wanting to die, but if they all had this fear of dying, they'd all be running the other way, right? So whenever you watch these, I always love that idea of the way in the medieval times, how when they fought, they just clashed together. You ever just think about that? About that person on the front line with a battle axe or a sword, that you're just walking right into that? What kind of mindset do you have to accept that type of adversity that's going to happen? That's pretty powerful. So once again, it's a mindset to deal with adversity head on. Do you ever think, why do some people run to problems or situations like a building on fire or an accident or something happened, and you get certain people that jump into action and they go towards the problem, like our military. And then there's certain people that run from it instinctively. And you think that maybe, well, just some people are wired that way. No, I'm going to challenge that. I believe they're trained that way over the years. You see, you can train your mind to dive into adversity. You know, my background in life, I never realized it's not what I did, but I was trained in adversity. I was trained on running to the problems, confrontation. I thrive on confrontation. I get sharper. That doesn't happen by accident. You train your mind that way. So if you're sitting here today and you go, oh gosh, I don't like confrontation, I run from it. Look, I'm not putting you down, but here's what I'm going to say to you. You're going to have a difficult time in life when adversity hits. You need to understand that it's going to happen. And you need to train your mind. And you need to accept it. Because the more and more you train your mind, the more and more when adversity comes, you can handle it a lot better. So that's number 2. Reach into those inner resources of training your mind to take care of that.
So
She smiled the whole time, because here's a mind, I'm waiting to say something.
Well, first of all, I know that I had a question when I was reviewing that, like, how do you train your mind? Well, you can mentally train your mind by just going over different situations. Chuck does that all the time. But he's so extreme with the way that he trains his mind. I'll give you an example. It sounds hilarious, but I really believe it's just part of his mindset training. You know when he was talking about how the armies clash? Well, when we're in Vegas and we're like on a corner about to cross the street and there's like a big crowd and there's another crowd over there, when it turns to the walk signal, he's all, charge!
And I always say,
and he visualizes slashing the people.
I'm right in the front. No, don't say that. I don't visualize. I just say I'm the one carrying the battle axe.
I'm sure the visualization doesn't go any farther than that. He's all, I'm like, I know he's going to say charge, and every single time he's all, it's awesome. Okay, number 2.
I do look across and go, we could take them. I want to say to the crowd on this corner, we could take them.
He does. The personal insights. So number 3 is, he said build your internal resources, but you also have to build your external resources. And that has everything to do with what we say all the time, it matters who you surround yourself with. It matters what you put into your mind. So not only who you surround yourself with, but what information do you put into your mind to help you to have this preparation. So of course, you need family and friends that are great resources to you, because more than likely they've gone through, somebody in your circle of influence has gone through an adversity similar to perhaps the one that you're going through. Now, here's the difference. If I go to somebody in confidence about one of my adversities, I expect a few things. I'd like that person to listen. That would be nice, right? So it's just a struggle to even find people who will simply listen. But then I really don't, I want empathy, but I don't want sympathy. I want somebody who's gonna build me up from that. Or say, hey, listen, I've been there too. Here's maybe what I did in that situation. I may or may not like that advice, but I'm looking for people to build me up out of adversity or through adversity. And some people actually bring you farther into the adversity. So that's why you have to be selective on the actual people that speak into your life. But if you don't have that right now, if you're like, crap, I've taken an inventory and the people in my life at the moment aren't so helpful, there's tons of people that you can read about or that you can watch their story or learn about. So last night we went and saw that movie, I Can Only Imagine. Oh my gosh, it was so good. It was so uplifting. And talk about a guy who's been through adversity and lifted up through adversity. That was an excellent example. So just watching that kind of a movie builds you up, right? There are lots of people in history like Helen Keller who overcame adversities from her childhood fever, right? And rose up to be this strong woman, even though she was deaf and blind. And there's Winston Churchill, who had this terrible stuttering problem. And he was able to overcome that embarrassing adversity and become a famous leader, of course. There's tons of them. J.K. Rowling's fun, you know, the author of Harry Potter, whose book was, first of all, she was a single mother, struggling, wrote this book, and it was rejected all over the place before, obviously, it wasn't. So there's lots of things that you can do to feed your mind with people who have overcome adversity. There's really no excuse to stay depressed, except for the occasional chemical imbalance. But you know, there are lots of resources that you can bring around you from external sources in order to help you overcome adversity.
You know, it's amazing, just to touch on that and the story of Bart from Mercy Me. You know, there are a lot of people out there that actually if they were in an abusive relationship when they were younger, use that as the victim and the crutch throughout their life, and they don't get anywhere. And I think sometimes society, especially the society we have today, they say, oh, it's okay. Or it's okay, you know, they try to hide their kids from adversity. You're not going to make them stronger. You can't condone that. Now, I say you can't condone it if you want to succeed and strive in life, because you can't get that way and strive in life, because these adversities will affect you, which leads me to number 4, which is that which does not kill you doesn't always make you stronger. Now I agree with the principle that which does not kill you will make you stronger. I agree with the principle, but I don't agree with the practice of it. So that's why I said it the opposite way. So here's what I mean. For instance, if you don't build up resilience to adversity, and adversity comes, it's not going to make you stronger. It will crush you. Which talks about these people that can't get over their childhood or can't get over things that happen in their life. So that phrase that will always make you stronger doesn't apply to them. There are adversities that will crush people. You get people that are manic depressants. It's because adversity just crushes them. So you have to treat, the way I look at adversity, I look at it as like a muscle. And we have to accept it that way. And we have to strengthen it. So once again, I'm going to appeal to the people who don't like confrontation, who naturally don't gravitate towards it, or throughout life didn't train that way. You have to say, I have to train it like a muscle. I have to just take baby steps into it. Slowly train yourself to be more resilient. And believe it or not, obstacles, the little obstacles don't even become little anymore. The big obstacles that maybe were in your life now become little because you're training your mind. So, like I said, I'm going to challenge the people here today who don't like that type of adversity or confrontation. You need to take baby steps into it. So if somebody says something to you don't like or something happens, Stand up for yourself. Now me on the other hand, I have to look at it the other way. I look for any example of, oh, that's confrontation, let's get into it. And I just look to sharpen the tool. So I have to go the opposite way because it can become negative. And my beautiful wife trained me on this. She always puts these words in my mind, and it always goes through my mind. Ever since I met her, she always says, pick your battle. So I'm the opposite. I look at it, is that confrontation worth getting into, or pick your battle and just let it go. So it does work both ways, but here's the point. It's a mindset. Stop going through life without thinking. There's a lot of us that go through life that don't think. So be cognizant of what you do, how you act, how you react. Look at it as a challenge. That's what I do. To me, life every day is a challenge I look forward to. So that's number 4.
He's very kind to pick certain words that he says, oh, you know, my wife taught me these words, like pick your battles, because I say all kinds of other ones. Like, when, I don't know if you know this about me, but I get startled very easily. And when I get startled, I either do really stupid jumps or make really bad sounds, or apparently say really stupid things.
Right. So it was a few weeks ago, if you were listening to one of our Monday morning mindsets, she's in the gym early in the morning and then comes in, and I'm usually getting up, and as if she doesn't expect me in the room. I don't know. So she was in a pink outfit, and she opens the door, and I happened to be standing there when she opened the door, and she went like this. And I was like, holy shit, it was the pink Power Ranger. Like, that's how she reacts.
I do, it's really awkward.
So this morning was really good, because like sometimes you don't know if it's a sound that comes out, a move, but this morning was, she gets startled and she says, Jeepers Creepers. And I'm like, did I really just hear that? Like, is that something that naturally comes out of somebody's mouth? And she's fighting with me all morning. I did not say that.
I said that.
I go, oh no, you did.
Yes, I did. So
Jeepers Creepers.
I know. You guys, I'm a nerd. It's just I can't escape it. All right, number 5, how to overcome adversity. In my opinion, the most important one, my opinion, is faith. We were created to have faith in something bigger than ourselves. Regardless of what you believe in, something bigger than ourselves. We're just puny humans, right? For me, my faith in Jesus Christ not only brings me great joy, but helps in adversities, helps to get right perspective when adversity comes my way. I don't know how any human being gets through. This world is dark, and it's hard. And I don't know how any human being gets through. I was just talking to Nicole this morning, without having a faith or something bigger than yourself to rely on. The Bible actually speaks about adversities. God opposes the proud, but shows favor to the humble. Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. Cast all your anxiety on him, because he cares for you. So there's a method, there's a way to deal with adversity that has to do with faith. Yesterday for Easter service, our service was fantastic. And I heard a song for the first time that I can't stop thinking about. And it's called So Will I, and it's by Hillsong. It's called So Will I. I just want to read you a little part of this song, and you should look it up and at least listen to it. It starts like this: God of creation, there at the start, before the beginning of time, with no point of reference, you spoke to the dark and fleshed out the wonder of light. As you speak, 100 billion galaxies are born. In the vapor of your breath, the planets form. If the stars were made to worship, so will I. I can see your heart in everything you've made, every burning star, a signal fire of grace. If creation sings your praises, so will I. That's just the beginning of it. And so it made me think that if you can place your faith into the hands of the one who spoke the universe into being, if you can place your faith there, the one who cares about your adversities, there's just really nothing you can't overcome. So that's number 5.
So I'm just going to give you some points to consider. I really want you guys to process these points to take away with you, because I really do believe if you could tackle or grasp adversity, not overcome it. You'll never overcome adversity but just to accept it, and it will help you succeed. The numbers that we have, that we've done in our career, are based off of coming over adversity, and everybody sitting here today has adversity in their life. Some more than others. I'm not downplaying it, but I want to leave you with some points to consider. The difficult times in life help us appreciate when things are going smoothly. So if you think about that, if you never had any problems in life, how could you accept and feel the good times in your life? So they do go hand in hand. Look for the learning opportunities in every adverse situation. Stop dwelling on the negative things of them and go, what could I learn from this? What could I take away from this that will help me? Decide whether you will allow your experience to make or break you. You see, I like this one because it does help with your mindset, and it does help when I say train it like a muscle. Every time you see adversity, and I do this almost daily, because we have adversity daily, and I go, why are we doing what we're doing? We could just pack it up. And I go, pack it up to what? So I decide, am I going to let that break me or make me? And I always choose to make me. Now, there are times I go, I'm just want to pack it in. But don't. Understand that one. Be prepared to accept the worst. So what I do in my mind, just so you know how, I always, now I'm not a pessimist, but I look at every situation and go, what's the worst that could happen in that situation? And prepare myself for it, or prepare for the outs to it. One of the things I do in my mind, I roll things around so much in my mind that I could, it's almost like a chart of different paths. So if this happened, I'm going to do this. If that happened, I'm going to do this. If this happened, I'll do this. And I do that. I can prepare for situations. I know it's a gift from God. I just thought everybody was like that until she explained, no, not everybody's like you.
The only people are him and the authors of those books we used to read as kids were like, okay, if you make this decision, go to page 75. And if you make the other, anybody remember those books? Choose your ending or whatever?
So I'm always preparing for the worst. But here's the crazy part. The worst very rarely happens. Very rarely. So rattle that. Cultivate faith, courage, and resilience. These qualities will definitely help you get through adversities. And remind yourself that adversity is part of life. Don't be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. Yes, things will happen. It is part of life. So accepting adversity will help you overcome it. And remember the last thing. It's not what happens to you, but it's how you respond to it that will affect the way you live your life. Any announcements there?
I was about to say that one, but I won't steal it.
I already said it. You can't
This
steal
one?
it. Oh, I'm going to say it.
So people don't even want to touch his papers. On Thursday night, we have 3 or 4 of our agents graduating from Sevar's leadership program. And you can go and attend, but at the very least, find them and keep them in mind. Oh, I'm going to blow it because I know it's Crystal Dawson. Oh shoot, does anyone know?
Carlos
Cicero. Catherine Castle. Is there one more?
Yeah, we said
So I think there are 3. So that's a really cool training that they have to go through. It's pretty intense, and so congratulate them. Go ahead.
Moms in Real Estate.
Moms in Real Estate starts on April 12th. And what that is, well, it's really hard to figure out. It's moms that are in real estate. But what it really is we have a Facebook page. So if you are a mom in real estate, you should join it because it's going to be a place to educate, empower, encourage other professionals in the real estate industry. And coupled with that, starting on April 12th, every Thursday, we're going to have a live show where we bring in realtors or moms in real estate and interview them, and they maybe have a specialty or some kind of success, or they share their struggles or they share their victories. And it's just an interview style where Kristen is going to be interviewing them. It will be on Facebook Live through the Facebook page Moms in Real Estate, but there will also be an opportunity to be part of the live audience, but the seating's super limited. I think there's only like 30-ish seats. So make sure you look out for that and reserve your seat as soon as you see that if you want to be there live. The benefit of being there live is we have
It's
raffles.
better than being there dead, right?
Raffles.
I'm just saying.
We have raffles and we have some
I
interaction.
always prepare for the worst. I'm sure they'll all be there alive. You see how that works?
So please join us. That will be every week. So the live show will be every week, but it will also be streamed every week. And there's all kinds of other things, but you can find out what those things are if you just join the Facebook
They
page.
actually have some cool, they have the t-shirts for the moms in real estate. Sorry guys, don't wear moms in real estate even though, you know.
We should get shirts that she's a mom in real estate with a little arrow. That'd be cute. That'd be cute. Would you wear
it? So they have cool stuff. They have t-shirts. They got these really cool coffee mugs that Danielle just got in. So a lot of other stuff, wine glasses. So check out the merchandise for it. It is pretty cool stuff. If you're out there on TV land or Facebook land or wherever land you're landing, go to Moms in Real Estate Facebook group. Join it. There is a lot of good chat on there that helps with moms in real estate and stuff like that. I want to share something that really cool happened. So we got back in town Thursday of last week and came straight from the airport here because we wanted to check up on our staff because we were gone so long, make sure they were working. And we got here and there was an agent from California. His name is Albert and he owns Arbitrage Real Estate in California. And he knows us through Facebook and the office, don't know the man personally, and he happened to be in Arizona and he said to his wife, we have to go to this office and check it out. So he was here with his 3 beautiful kids. What a great family. And they were just, I'll tell you, that you talked about humbling, to have somebody travel and make it a point. Like their points was, I guess, Grand Canyon, Sedona, and Revelation Real Estate.
Yeah, and he wanted to meet some of you, and some of you were around, and he was shaking your hand. I mean, it was really cool.
Yeah,
it was really cool. He's taking pictures all over the place.
I love that. That's awesome. So Albert, thanks for coming. Beautiful family you got there. Anything else coming up? Don't forget, party on the patio, Friday nights, free pizza. Guys, it's 21 and over, so if, you know, I see all these little kids running around. I'm like, geez. But anyway, bring your clients, have some fun. Oh, look at Sheridan's coming up here. Sheridan, come on up.
Okay, I was like, you can talk or I can talk.
Yeah, you can talk. I have no choice, but
Saturday is Family Fun Day. So this Saturday, 12 to 4, invite your friends, families, clients. There's going to be food and drink specials, as well as like a bounce house, obstacles course for children, and face painting, a bubble machine, and all different types of vendors for you guys to shop from and check out. So, see you guys there.
And
so
right
wait,
after-
did we rent out Cube Smart for the obstacle course?
That would have been an awesome idea. That would have been like little kids running through storage units.
Yeah, right. So right after that,
Sheridan doesn't have kids, so
not yet.
Probably tragic.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Yeah.
So after that evening, there's also dueling pianos, which is so much fun. I think you've heard the stories that agents have actually brought their clients and their clients were impressed,
and their clients bring friends
and they get referrals.
so
Very cool.
I think from it starts at
If you buy a ticket for dinner, I think it starts at 5.
so you come for dinner, Italian food. I'm cooking.
That's you have to buy.
So-
You have to buy a ticket for that. But otherwise, you can come at 7:30 for general
Open
admission.
seating. So
7:30 at general admission. Just
right
to come
here,
in.
come, Saturday, yes.
Saturday here. It's
Come on down.
really good.
It's a fun night,
Yeah.
and I think that's it. God bless you guys. Have a great week.
You're here.